Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shaft Mine. I'm your host, the captain, and this is another episode we're doing without Coach because Coach is a selfish asshole. He just got a brand new condo, and apparently that's more important to him than doing the show and creating content for you wonderful people. So fuck you, Coach. You're a piece of shit, and that's another reason why everybody likes me more than they like you.
You suck!
So let's talk about this past weekend. I didn't do too great this weekend. A lot of people didn't do too great this weekend, but let's jump right into the scores and we'll talk about those. We'll start off with my game. I played 17 leagues later.
Oh, I hate that guy.
I know everybody was rooting for me to win because nobody likes him. I started off pretty hot, not gonna lie. I was up about 30, 40 points, but my guys ended up blowing it. I lost 125.9 to 110.4.
Fuck.
17 leagues later, left a lot of points on his bench. I left a lot of points on my bench. It wasn't a good game, and he pulled through. The next game we have the Bronx guys who ended up playing Rock Nation. The Bronx guys were 1-8 going into this weekend, and they left 2-8.
Wow.
So they beat Rock Nation 122.2 to 107.8. I have no idea what happened with Rock Nation there. The next game we had Team Gargnauts losing to Boats and Hose. Boats and Hose ended up winning 155.5 to 117.5. Team Gargnauts is struggling this year. They cannot find any type of rhythm. Boats and Hose 5-5. The game after that we had, Team El Mago playing the Smoking Jay Cutlers. The Smoking Jay Cutlers, another one who went to this weekend with a 1-8 record and left this weekend with a win.
What? Good.
They are now 2-8 after beating El Mago 112 to 100.5.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I did not think they were going to do it, even though I wanted them to win. Uzi, I'm proud of you. You really stepped it up, especially after the performance from last weekend. So kudos to you. Then the next game we had the brothers playing each other. It was Team 69ers against Team Dream. Team Dream did a terrible job drafting this year.
They have no plan like losers, and the people running the team, in my estimation, are losers.
Because everybody on their team was on bye. I guess he doesn't look to see what players are on byes when he's drafting. He ended up losing 113.8 to 78. It wasn't even close. The entire time we knew Team 69ers was going to win, and he ended up winning, so Team Dream, nice. And in the last game we had Rest in Peace against Mr. Poopy Butthole, and Mr. Rest in Peace ended up beating Mr. Poopy Butthole 129.9 to 91.6. It was a disappointing weekend for some, but because of certain aspects, a lot didn't change with the playoff scenario. Let's start with Team El Mago, who's in first place this week. They'll have a bye. And Team Dream, who's the number 2 seed as of now, will also have a bye because they're the top 2 teams in the league. And then we'll jump into if the season ended today. Again, this is not what's going to happen. This is if the season ended today and the playoffs started. So the 3 team is Team 69ers, and they would end up playing the 6th seed, which is Mr. Poopy Butthole, who has a record of 6-4. So that's what record you're aiming to beat if you want to make the playoffs as of now. Then you have the 4 and the 5 team. You have 17 leagues later, who's a 4. They're 6-4, and the 5 seed, who's also 6-4, which is Rest in Peace. So as of now, that's who the matchups would be. Again, Team El Mago and Team Dream would have a bye. Mr. Poopy Butthole would be playing Team 69ers, and Rest in Peace would be playing 17 leagues later. Again, this is the top 6 teams in the league. It is not separated by division, just so you guys know. So again, that covers the projected playoff bracket. The teams that don't make the playoffs, obviously Rock Nation, Boats and Hose, Team Gargnauts, Smoking Jay Cutlers, Bronx guys, and myself, the Shaken Bakers. So that covers this past weekend. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to jump right into next week for you guys. Bye.
You want to play some football? A little Juan on Juan? Sure.
Híjole, this is the craziest soccer ball in the world.
Gordito, it's football!
And we're back. Let's jump into the Week 11 games. We'll have the first game is Shaken Bakers against Team El Mago. Team El Mago is the number 1 overall seed as of now. Shaken Bakers, me, are not in the playoffs currently. We are 4-6. We have to win out if we even want a chance at making the playoffs.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
So this is a must-win game for me. Team El Mago, fuck you. I'm glad you lost to a shitty team. I hope you lose to another shitty team this week, which is me. I hope you never win another fantasy game in your life. I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to say a lot of mean things, except I hope you lose. And I think you're going to end up losing this week because I ended up making some trades, and I think they're going to help me out. So I'm predicting myself to win this game. The next game, we have Boats and Hoes playing the Bronx Guys. Boats and Hoes are 5-5. The Bronx Guys are 2-8. The Bronx Guys are eliminated from playoffs. There's no way they can make the playoffs this year. Boats and Hoes still can make the playoffs. They do need win. They need to win, and they need help. I think the Bronx Guys are going to play the spoiler and end up beating them this week. I think the Bronx Guys are going to be one of those teams that might win out through the rest of the season. I have very high hopes for them, and I believe in them. Next game, we have Team Garlic Knots playing the Smoking Jay Cutlers. Team Garlic Knots are struggling. They've been very inconsistent this entire year. Smoking Jay Cutlers aren't that good either. But again, I think it's going to be another one of those scenarios where the bad team, the Smoking Jay Cutlers, 2-8, end up beating Team Garlic Knots. The game after that, we have Team Dream against 17 Leagues Later. Team Dream, the number 2 overall team in the league, playing against 17 Leagues Later, who were, 5-4, one of the two. Nobody cares. Nobody wants him to make the playoffs. I think Team Dream is going to have a comeback victory. They're going to bounce back after their shitty performance last week. All their players are back from bye. They're well rested. So I think Team Dream is going to end up winning this week. And I think they're going to jump into first place. The next game, we have Mr. Poopy Butthole against Team 69ers. Mr. Poopy Butthole is 6-4. Team 69ers is 7-3. I believe that Mr. Poopy Butthole is going to win this week. I think Team 69ers is going to lose. I want them to lose because Jake's a selfish piece of shit. He's very selfish. He only cares about himself. He only cares about his team.
I don't believe a word
Jake
says. Not a word.
Fuck you. You left me. This is, your 4th episode where you're not here. We will probably renegotiate his contract. There might be some type of fine, some type of penalty, something is going to happen for his lack of attendance.
You'll do fucking nothing.
But that's for off the air. Then the next game, we have Rock Nation against Rest in Peace. At this point, they're both very mediocre teams. Rock Nation 5-5, Rest in Peace 6-4. I've been saying Rock Nation is basically going to go and lose every week. I think Rock Nation is going to end up pulling it off this week. I think they're going to end up winning the game. I think Rest in Peace is going to end up losing, even though I do want Rest in Peace to win. I think that'll help me. I'm not too sure. I haven't really looked into who I need to lose, who I need to win. Basically, I want everybody to lose and I want to win, but that can't happen. So, we'll figure it out. So, stay tuned.
Hey Josh, I'm gonna give myself a caramel macchiato, cappuccino, macchiato.
That's not even a real thing.
Do you want anything?
I'll just take a black iced coffee.
Okay.
What's he doing?
Go, Josh, go! What are you doing? You told me to get a black iced coffee!
Well, I told you to get a black iced coffee.
Oh, okay. You know what? That makes more sense.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we're going to get some owners on the line. We're going to talk to them. We're going to see what they have to say about last week, about this week. Very excited for the owners we do have coming on the show. The first owner we have is 17 Leagues Later. As we know, last week, Mr. Poopy Butthole ended up taking some shots, so now he'll get to defend himself and hopefully attack Mr. Poopy Butthole so we could have something to gossip about. Let's give Mr. John a call, Mr. 17 Leagues Later, see what he has to say.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the Shaft Mine on Shaft Nation Radio. I'm the captain.
I heard that this is where I get some thick shaft.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we know it's not coming from you.
No, you get a small one from me.
What's up, man?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, living the dream.
All right, let's jump right into it. You know what I really want to discuss this week? I want to talk about how Mr. Poopy Butthole randomly, out of the blue, just started taking shots at you last week, basically calling you a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where that came from. I just figured since, his name is Mr. Poopy Butthole, he was like just a person and wasn't very smart, so I figured let me throw him a trade. But to be honest with you, I don't know. He said in the last week's video that he's winning, so why would he want to make a trade? And my argument to that is if you're not trading, you're not trying. I could be 10-0. And if I got a weak spot in my lineup, I'm going to try and fix that weak spot with a trade. So just because you're winning doesn't mean you shouldn't be making trades. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But again, with a name like Mr. Poopy Butthole, do we really think he's that intelligent? I guess not.
Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Michael Scott.
Exactly true. And you know what? You know what's funny is that the first trade I offered him was Eckler and Andrews for Evans, and he definitely could have used Eckler and Andrews this week to get a win because he lost.
He did end up losing.
And he declined that trade. I offered him Keenan Allen, which is a replacement for Evans and Andrews, because what are his tight ends? Chris Herndon he had, Jimmy Graham and Delaney Walker. What a fucking joke, dude. I'm offering you a top 3 tight end for not a top 3 wide receiver, because Evans is not a top 3 wide receiver right now. So, I'm giving you a top 3 tight end for a weak spot in your lineup, and I'm giving you a receiver to cover that, lack of receiver in your lineup now, and you still cry like a little about it. It just sounds like Mr. Poopy Butthole. I'm surprised he's 6-3.
Playing devil's advocate.
6-4, whatever it is.
Playing devil's advocate. Mike Evans is the number 2 receiver at his position this year.
Did that just change? Because he wasn't.
I'm not too sure. I think Michael Thomas is number 1. Mike Evans is number 2.
It was Godwin. It was like I don't think so. I'm not quite sure how maybe ESPN does it. But in my league,
I am looking at it. I just pulled up Mike Evans' position rank, number 2. He's averaging 21.2 points this year.
That's fair. That's even better. That means I'm giving him a top 3 tight end and at least a top 10 wide receiver. Keenan Allen's got to be top 10, top 15.
Keenan Allen. Mr. Keenan Allen is number 10. So, yep, top 10.
So I'm giving him a top 10 receiver, a top 3 or top 5 minimum tight end for a number 2 receiver, a top 2 receiver. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's more than fair. It just sounds like he doesn't really know how to structure his team properly. Herndon, Delaney Walker, and Jimmy Graham. Are you serious?
He's had some injuries. To his squad. We will probably have.
What do injuries have to do with his tight end position?
Yeah, Herndon is a
was
very.
Out for that was like the first game he played the entire year. You can't use Herndon as an excuse. He shouldn't even have been on your team.
If Herndon was healthy, Herndon would be a very good player.
But Herndon's not healthy, and you say that, but he's still on the Jets.
Hey, they're the greatest New York team in New Jersey. Let's get into this week. You're playing that Team Dream. That's Team 69ers' little brother.
Yeah.
Team 69ers is on the show right now because he's an asshole, and apparently he has more.
Before we get into that, what is up with Team 69ers' obsession with me? It's like anytime you bring up my name, or obviously Mac or Mr. Poopy Butthole, whatever the fuck. He brings up my name. It's like he goes crazy. Oh my god, I need to hear this. Like I know he's not there with you right now. I kind of wish he was, because I would tell him if he wants to, juggle my with his mouth, then it's going to be $20, and you get 10 minutes, and I'm not going to take a shower. So he can call me. We can set that up or whatever, and go from there. But I just want to know what his obsession with me is. It seems like he's just like always gung ho, wants to get all excited about anything to do with me. and we don't even know each other.
I see you have very low rates, so I might take you up on that offer myself. All right, so this week you're playing Team Dream.
Yes.
How do you think you're going to do? I think you're going to end up losing.
You thought that last week.
Well, you know what? You
And what
played
did I
me
do to
last
you?
week. Well, I mean, what did everybody do to me this year? I'm not, I'm not really the guy who's like, yeah, I beat him. Like, it's not really a proud moment to beat me.
It was pretty proud for me because of the back and forth shit talking we had earlier in the year.
It
before
also
the season
doesn't help
started.
that 37 of my players either got arrested, beat somebody up, somebody, or got hurt.
It doesn't help that you dropped Hunter Henry too, and I picked him up.
Well, you got, injuries.
Anyway, let's get back to Team Dream. Listen, he's got a really good team. I'm not gonna stray away from that fact. It's gonna be a tough one if we're able to pull it out. Listen, my biggest thing this year with this league is that I've been leaving points on my bench, like constantly on my bench. I had Fuller blow up for 53 on my bench. This past week, I took out Andrews and put AJ Brown in, and Andrews went off for like 20 something. So if I can set a perfect lineup, I don't think Team Dream can beat me. But if I leave points on the bench, which I've been doing all year long like a fucking noob, then I think I will lose. But I'm going to go into this saying I'm going to set a perfect lineup, and I'm going to win, and then I'm going to be 7-4, and then I'm going to start taking 69er's spot. I want him out of here. He's gonna end up below me. He's going to look up at my because he loves it so much. Yeah, but and hey, Mr. Poopy Butthole isn't a bad team, and that's who he's facing this week. So, hopefully...
Who do you want to win that game?
Hopefully Mr. Mack tries to get a tight end. I mean, I got 2 of them, so tell him to send a trade offer. I send him a trade, he just rejects it. He doesn't even counter it. Like,
Who do
do
you
you
think-
not know how to negotiate?
Who do you think's going to win that game, Mr. Bowie Butthole or Team 69ers?
Well, he doesn't have a tight end in because he refused trades to give him a good tight end. And the 2 on his roster are Delaney Walker with a bye week and Jimmy Graham with a bye week. So he's basically fucked, and there's no tight ends on the waiver wire. So unless he makes a trade with me, which he should, then he's going to lose, which sucks because I need him to win, but he's probably going to lose.
Okay. All right. Well, he will get this message. Thank you for coming on the show, sir.
You're very welcome.
Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
And
You not so much.
Well,
No, I'm kidding. I hope you win.
I could win every game, and I still need a lot of help in order to make the playoffs. So right now I'm just playing spoiler for most teams. So
Hey, man, spoil it up, bro.
I'm playing Team El Mago, so I know for a fact you want me to win.
I definitely want you to win, not only for the fact that it's Brian and he beat me earlier in the year when my team decided to fall apart and I left points on my bench, so I need you to take him out for me, give him another loss. I think he lost last week too, right?
He did. So he would be 7-4, and then there would be a few teams that have that record after this week.
Right. Well, I have more points than 69ers, so if we're both 7-4, I'd be ahead of him.
Okay.
El Mago would be ahead of me as well. You also said multiple times how when you score over 100 points, people can't beat you, but I guess I proved that theory incorrect.
Well, you were doubting yourself. I do have text to prove it. You were worried.
That's right.
You were worried.
Of course I was.
You were worried.
My bench. I told you straight up.
I
made
left.
a last-minute decision.
So, hey, shit happens, But again, thank you for coming on, and we will catch you at another time, sir. You have a great night.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was 17 leagues later. So that was quite the conversation. Kind of dragged on a bit. He likes to talk. He's the type of guy, he likes listening to himself talk. He likes looking at himself in the mirror. He's very into himself. That's just the kind of person he is. All right, and for our next owner, I'm going to end up calling the Bronx guys because they want to talk about who they're playing this week. They want to talk about their lineup, and I'm telling you right now, it is not pretty. So let's see what they have to say.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, who am I speaking with?
Is this the Bronx guys? This is the captain.
Yeah, this is the representative Bronx, guys. How are you?
How are you, sir?
I've been better, but I'm okay.
Yeah? Why have you been better?
Well, have you seen my starting lineup this week?
I've taken a gander.
Not only are there no guys from the Bronx,
but I didn't even know that 4 of them were in the NFL until I added them this morning.
I'm looking at your lineup right now, and I think you have one of the best lineups going into this week.
Well, Calvin Ridley was a stud in college, so.
Phenomenal in college, but we both know that college sucks because they ended up losing to LSU this past weekend.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what the media wants you to think, but keep believing them.
They can't tell us anything that's not true, so you have to believe the media because why would they ever lie to us?
That is true.
They're here for the people, They're never going to be super political towards one party over the other.
No, they would never do that.
Ever. So let's talk about this. You have Nick Foles playing as your quarterback this week.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him, and he exists. So, and he was playing this week, so I added him to the team. And right now, those are all the qualifications you need to be on Bronx guys. You have to be playing this week, and you need to exist.
Okay, you have very high standards, I see.
I'm sorry?
You have very high standards with, who you select on your team.
Yep, in more ways than one.
I mean, you have Kalen Ballage. Never heard of him. So
nope.
T.J. Hawkinson.
He goes touchdown pass in week 1. So.
You know something that we don't. I feel like you know something. You have some type of report. You have some scouts. You know something we don't know.
I mean, listen, we're the Bronx guys for a reason. I'll say that.
I do think you're gonna win this week, though. Believe it or not, I'm predicting that you win out the rest of the season. You don't make the playoffs, but I think you're gonna win out.
Listen, I appreciate that, and we'll see what happens. But I gotta go right now. I got some Bronx guys to take care of. So I want you to have a great night. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Take care. All right, that was the Bronx guys, and we know they're into some shady things, shady dealings, and fantasy's not one of them because they probably don't pay much attention to this because of all their other shenanigans, but who knows? So that covers it for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Next week, who knows if Coach is going to be here? He might not. He might. Who knows? He just shows up when he shows up. I'll be here because I stay consistent. I'm here for you. It's not about me. So good luck to everybody this weekend. I hope whoever needs to lose in order for me to make the playoffs loses. Whoever needs to win wins. And I hope I end up winning this week. So again, thank you for tuning in. And I will see you guys next week. I hope to God that fucking recorded. Can. Could you come here? Can. Could you come here? Can. Could you come here? Can. It's the last time.